All right, Detroit. This week we got they're very aggressive defensively. They're one of the top-ranked teams on third downs. I think they play very hard. They give you some different looks based out of a 3-4, but give you some 4-3 and move the fronts around a little bit. I think they do a really good job. The defensive coordinator used to play for me, along with the head coach was in Dallas when I was there. So there's a lot of familiarity that way. The offensive coordinator was with me in Dallas as well. So I know there's a lot of familiarity on both sides of the ball. Swift does a great job. Hawkinson, their offensive line is solid. Good receivers, and Goff's been playing well.
What about you guys spending time together in Dallas? What are your relationships like with some of them?
Good. Yeah. I mean, I think Campbell was a guy that was always a really tough competitor. Aaron Glenn was a really good football player, really smart. And then, Anthony Lynn was he was the running back coach when I was there. So, good, tough guy. Son played in the league for a while.
What are they asking Goff to do differently than they did in LA?
It's really, it's a little bit different system. I mean, they still got the rockets and they got the boots. So a lot of that stuff is similar. There's a little bit more of maybe some hardball runs, gap scheme runs, but not much really. Pass game wise, pass game.
Going to be dangerous facing an 0-4 team that's hungry for a win, and obviously they've been close in a lot of games.
Yeah, they've been close. They scored 31 against San Francisco, had a good chance to beat Baltimore, and went right down the field and against Chicago twice and turned the ball over. So we're going to be on our P's and Q's.
Is it strange to not be preparing for Stafford?
We will later on.
Delay it.
And Mike, was Campbell a guy you looked at all during coordinator searches over the years?
Yeah, I actually interviewed him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and why is that? I mean, what did you get out of that?
I think why did I interview him, or what?
Why were you looking at him as a candidate?
Well, I liked the things they were doing offensively in New Orleans, and I knew what kind of person he was. I knew he's dedicated and hardworking and tough.
How's Michael Pierce right now?
We'll have to just see how the week goes.
You mentioned the different looks, 3-4, 4-3. What does that kind of do to the offense as they kind of diagnose things?
Yeah, you got to make sure you get on the same page. They bring a lot of pressure in different areas. I think the safeties do a good job of disguising. They hold the disguise a bit of time. It's just different identifications, really. They're playing a little bit of nickel versus our two tight end stuff, and and then they're playing some base stuff.
If Pierce isn't able to go, would that be a situation, given Tomlinson's played nose before, where you'd see him slide over and Sheldon could fill in more at that 3-tech?
I don't believe so, no.
When you look back at all the times that Kirk Cousins was pressured, how much of it is on the offensive line and how much is it on Kirk maybe not doing some things to avoid the pressure?
I don't think it's on any one group. But, when you get pressured, it's they had good players, and they brought some blitzes, and they just were able to get pressure.
Has having the crowd noise the last two games sort of provided that boost to the defense that you enjoyed previous to last season? Do you think that's given them a little bit of benefit?
Well, I think that's helping a lot. Anytime your building is loud and they're trying to do things at the line of scrimmage, I think that makes it difficult. At times it's difficult on us making the calls and checks. We had one of the runs last week. We made a wrong check and guys didn't hear it. So, but I'd rather have the crowd noise than not. I do think we're playing better, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe we're just playing better.
Like division games always take that little more meaning just standings wise, but when it is two teams that are, toward the bottom of the standings in the division, does it take on a little more, I don't want to say desperation, but maybe a little more meaning?
I think all these division games, they're always tough, physical, hard-nosed games. As long as I've been here, they've all been like that, regardless of what the records of any team is. So we expect them to be very, very excited about playing us, and I expect us to be the same way.
Mike, how big of a concern for you is the COVID situation in the secondary?
Yeah, it's a concern. I mean, but I don't know what I can do about it.
Danzler tweeted that he's fully vaccinated and should be back soon. Is that an accurate portrayal of the situation?
I'm not going to release statements on who's vaccinated, who's not.
Do you expect him back soon, regardless of if he's vaccinated or not?
It depends on the protocol. I'm not in charge of that.
And then how about Boyd's hamstring injury? I mean, hamstrings can linger. Do you think he'll be okay for Sunday?
I know we'll see today.
Mike, when they have a running back situation like Swift and Williams, when you have backs that can just rotate and that can both catch the ball real well out of the backfield, how does that, what does that really do for you defensively when you're trying to contain like guys like that?
Yeah, well, it just adds another dimension to the offense. Swift is very, very good catching the football. Williams does a nice job as well, and so it's harder to overload coverages when you got guys to do that, depending on where they're going and things, and then you get some some one-on-one matchups with the linebackers typically.
Mike, when you've said before that you just want one more corner, that's how many you want, is that different than other positions?
No,
I mean,
I
it's like
think
something always seems to be happening, hamstrings and different things.
yeah, that's probably why. I mean, Parcells said we need 6 on campus all the time, and so I think that's part of it. They get dinged, they get soft tissue injuries, COVID. He didn't know about that, but you know what I mean. It's the way it is.
Time for 2 more. You didn't see the future on the COVID thing?
No, he sees the future a lot, but not on that.
Mike, does Barr give you mentioned the offensive players, does Barr give you a dimension you've been missing?
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to see how he is today and moving forward, but I feel good about him. He hasn't played in over a year now, so we just got to get him back in the groove of being physical and making the checks and understanding where he's at and kind of go from there. Okay, thank you.